During 2020, we became all too familiar with shelter-in-place orders. And we heard a lot of people probably asking questions like, where is God, and can he help me through this distressing time? And we as believers, we know the answer to that question. God is walking right beside you through this storm, and now is the time to shelter in God. This is the message that we share with our clients every day when they come into our ministry, just looking for a little bit of a respite as they're trying to figure out this difficult decision before them. I'd like to share a little bit about our ministry and who we are and what it is we do. First and foremost, we are a Christ-centered ministry that exists to share the love of Jesus and the grace of God with every client that walks through our door. Secondly, we are a pregnancy medical center that exists to advocate for the value of life in the womb. We accomplish both of these purposes by coming alongside people who are facing an unplanned pregnancy, empowering them with hope and life-affirming choices. Here's a little bit of the programs and services that we offer at Choices. We have three primaries. On the medical side, we offer free pregnancy testing and ultrasound confirmation, as well as prenatal consultations with our nurses. We also offer parenting classes. And third, for those who have experienced an abortion, we have an abortion recovery ministry where we lead them through a Bible study where they can not only find forgiveness, but also find healing and freedom. And if you'd like to know more about either of these programs, we have an information table up here in the front corner that you can stop by after the gala this evening. Now I'd like to share a little bit with you some of the outcomes from the ministry. These are our annual statistics on a normal year. 2020 definitely wasn't a normal year, but we're starting to see positive numbers again this year. In a regular year, we see well over 600 clients, which comes out to about 15 appointments every week. We perform about 40 ultrasounds every month, and this is our game changer. Studies have shown that almost 80% of abortion-minded women and men, once they see that image of their baby on that monitor, they change their minds. So this is our secret weapon, if you will. Of the more than 600 clients that we see each year, a little less than half are abortion vulnerable. On average, we'll see about 3 abortion-determined clients each month. But lately, over the last couple of months, we've seen that number almost double. So that's a good thing because that means that they are finding us and they are coming to us for our free services that we have to offer. The good news is that of that approximately 360 at-risk clients that we have every year, over 200 of those end up choosing life. That's almost 60%. Also extremely important to us is the opportunities that we have to have spiritual engagements with them. We never force faith on them. We always ask their permission to share the gospel with them or to pray with them. And interestingly, most of the atheists are okay with us praying for them, and that's a good thing. We get to share the gospel with about a dozen clients each month, with 2 making spiritual decisions. Now I'd like to highlight a few of the accomplishments since we last met almost 2 years ago, and most of these were during this past year in 2020. While most other places and businesses were closed during 2020, Choices has stayed open throughout the year. And we were quite busy, as you're getting ready to see. We fully implemented our PLANS program. The PLANS is an acronym that stands for Potential Life-Affirming Next Steps. This is a bridge between our ministry and the local church, where our clients can find meaningful community in the church and find discipleship. If your church is interested in finding out more about this program, please stop by our information table afterwards. We also opened up a satellite office up in Stafford. This is something that had been in the works for almost 2 years, and we are very grateful for Mount Ararat, Stafford Crossing Community Church, and Stewart's Contracting that helped make it a reality. This is an image of our consultation room just after we finished renovating it. Many of you may not have heard, but our main office here in Fredericksburg moved. We used to be located down close to University of Mary Washington, and back in March, just before all of the COVID craziness hit, we moved. We are now over here in the South Point shopping area, right across the parking lot from American Family Fitness. And if you have not had a chance to stop by and visit, please do so. We would love to give you a tour. We've had many church groups that have set up appointments to come and visit the center. And so let us know if that's something that your church group would be interested in doing as well. We were also very blessed by the Knights of Columbus. They have provided 3 of our ultrasound machines over the years, and you'd be surprised how expensive these are. One of these costs more than most new cars. So thank you to our friends, the Knights of Columbus. You know, a cool story, the machine that was replaced by this new one is now in Uganda being used in a field hospital. In our ministry, we like to talk about ripple effects from the choices and decisions that we make. And it's cool to think about the ripple effect of that ultrasound machine that the Knights got for us several years ago. That ripple has now reached clear across the Atlantic to a completely other continent. So it's just fun to be a part of that. Here's the new ultrasound machine being put to good use by our amazing sonographer, Eva Ortiz. Now I'd like to introduce you to our key initiative for 2021. This is part of our fatherhood program. We're calling it our Legacy League. You know, one of the things that we found over the last year or two is some data that showed that the number one person an abortion-minded woman wants to talk to about their decision is the dad. So that made us realize, how can we not have a fatherhood program? Our mission is to empower them with hope and life-affirming choices, right? And that's not just mom, that's dad too. An important element of that was carving out some space at the center just for the dads, where we could have some of our male mentors engage with these dads and encourage them. We wanted a space where when they came in, they were kind of blown away because we actually thought of them. We want them to know that they matter. They are part of this decision as well, and we want to empower them as such. So men, if you are interested in being a part of this ministry, please sign up. We had a sign-up sheet over at the information table. That can be as few as 4 hours a month, or it could be making a commitment to walk alongside one of these young dads for the next 9 months. Because a lot of these dads, they don't know what right looks like. If they did have a father in the picture, many times those fathers were apathetic or not healthy, so they don't know what right looks like, and they need somebody to come along and encourage them. So what's next? We need to build out our fatherhood program, and we need a lot of volunteers in order to do that. Secondly, we're in need of nurses. We're in need of volunteer nurses. We need to hire nurses so that we can expand our services both here in Fredericksburg and up in Stafford. And that's one of the primary things that we're raising funds for tonight, is salaries to be able to hire nurses. And I'll tell you, especially in this new pandemic environment, nurses are hard to come by. Lastly, you see up there, at some point we'd love to own our own facility rather than continuing to spend thousands of dollars each month for overhead. So that's a long-term dream for us. As I wrap up, this slide communicates a pretty powerful story. From right here in our own community, when we opened our doors back in 2012, there was more than 800 babies killed and women wounded by abortion, right here in our own community. Fast forward a few years, we're down to about 500 now. Well, now, while that may sound good, we still got a lot of work to do, because when you think about that 500, that's 10 every single week. So we need your help to do more. We want to reach more. We want to see more spared. We want to see more transformed by the gospel. We want to see more find healing.